What down, family? It's your boy SNTV, back at y'all with another episode of Slimed Out. And this episode is going to be about none other than Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug, aka Thugger Thugger. Young Thug comes from that Zone 3, Cleveland Avenue, as some like to call Bleveland Avenue. They're definitely Bloods. He's a part of a set called Young Stoner Life, or YSL. Although Young Thug is known to be the founder or one of the co-founders of YSL, along with a guy named DK, there is another co-founder, a guy that goes by the name of Mondo. When this came out, there was a lot of controversy.
Yo, to me, nigga, they wasn't looking on y'all goop. I been dripping since my baby pick. I been did out the money, nigga, out this rap. Stop playing, nigga, I been told sticks and 30s on me. Just started doing it, man. Nigga, I make booty be slime, nigga. Mondo the founder, nigga, understood. Y'all go talk goop. I don't want to start this. Don't get this shit screwed, nigga. I been dripping since my baby pictures too. Look. Y'all goof acting funny, nigga. I'm the founder of this. Y'all nigga went screaming why I say I started this. Mondo. I started
Young Thug is a product of the Jonesboro South Projects. He took up the name Young Thug because he started being in the streets at a very young age. Young Thug was doing everything from selling drugs to busting pistols. And he even got locked up in the 6th grade for breaking his teacher's arm. He began running with a clique called ROC, or Raised on Cleveland. And this is when he really began to turn up. Young Thug will start doing music around about 2010. But it wasn't until 2013 when he would end up being discovered by Gucci Mane and signed to 1017. Even though Gucci Mane was the one that discovered him, he wouldn't even be out to enjoy the fruits of his labor. In 2013, he would end up getting locked up shortly after signing Young Thug. And in 2014, Young Thug would end up dropping a song called I'm a Stoner. He would end up heating up immediately off of that song. Almost instantly, Young Thug became very influential in the rap game. He had a slogan called Be Yourself, and he made a lot of things cool that wasn't cool before he came out, such as wearing tight jeans and even putting on dresses.
I just hit on CC, rent the next for BP. I come like these till they boy.
Yeah.
Ain't getting any food.
Still closed, but we was out and about, so yeah, they stayed open for us.
Nobody come with us.
With us.
They let me come in here and buy this shit up.
Yeah.
About 40,000.
Yeah.
And I had to get dressed up because I got a party.
As Young Thug's career began to expand, he would begin to not only sign more and more talent, but he would also develop more and more street ties. One guy that he ended up being cool with was a guy that went by the name of Big Nut, who was a well-known Inglewood family member. At some point, things would get rocky between that relationship, and in 2015, Big Nut would end up being killed in the drive-by while standing outside a barbershop on McDaniel Street in Southwest Atlanta.
Man of the community. He was caring and always looked out for anyone he came into contact with. He will surely be missed in my life. Police believe the two adult men and a 14-year-old were targeted. Triple outside this barbershop ended the life of 26-year-old Donovan Thomas.
Man, you know what I mean? That independent guy for a true getting pregnant in that bitch, man. Why don't you bum on blood? You know what I mean? Shit Inglewood way blood. Straight like that.
According to sources, Young Thug believed that Big Nut had started working with the police and allegedly put a hit on him. Whatever the case was, YFN Lucci and the Inglewood Bloods didn't take his death lightly, and this would start a war in Atlanta. Although a war had just started in Atlanta and bodies began to drop, it wasn't until YSL member by the name of Big Briss shot a police officer 6 times that the police really started keying in on YSL.
Will walk us through.
So again, what you'll see is, the subject being followed by Officer Rogers. Again, as Madam DA indicated, that he was wanted. Officers were hot on his trail. And again, we just want to show the level of violence and the total disregard of life that this individual had on Officer Rogers, as well as the investigator Will Johnson.
Big Brisk pulling the trigger on the police will cause a domino effect. Soon after, a guy by the name of Kenneth Copeland will end up in trouble with the police in an unrelated incident. He will soon start singing like David Ruffin in the Temptations. Kenneth Copeland, aka Lil Woody, who was a well-known and well-trusted YSL member at the time, couldn't take the pressure. He was facing time. So what he did was went inside the interrogation room and started snitching, specifically about the murder of Donovan Nutt Thomas. He told the police that he rented a car and that he was actually on the hit and that Young Thug had been dropped off before the hit took place. He told the police when, why, and where. And that's what ultimately led to the downfall of YSL.
You know, before when you said about you want to go home today, you know we can't promise you anything, right? Wait, listen to me. I gotta make that clear. You understand that, right? And listen to me. Woody, listen to me. I just gotta make that clear to you. We can't promise you anything. You understand that, right?
You know,
listen to me. I just gotta, look, Woody, for a minute. Listen to me. I just gotta make that very clear. We can't, at this point in time, we cannot promise you anything, okay?
This, I mean, they told me, come promise me. I told them everything that I knew about this situation.
About what?
Last time. That's everything I knew. Y'all feel as I had something to do with it. I didn't have nothing to do with it.
Do one situation, because you know I wasn't there. This is my first time meeting. So you gotta fill me in.
That's some years ago. You know what I mean? Everything I knew about it, I said everything I knew. The police feel like I knew anything about it. I didn't know anything else. I wasn't there. I didn't have no parts. All I did was I heard after the fact things. And I said everything I knew, and I went through it. I did 5 years. I lost people while I was going through the process. Like, I was tortured. Them niggas ain't tortured. Them niggas ain't gotta go through what I gotta go through. I was tortured. Now I'm still being tortured. This girl asked me to help take her to go. You know what I mean? Keep her family out of there and go do her time. That's it. I went to the mall, bro. That's it. You know what I mean?
You know what?
Allegedly, Kenneth Copeland, aka Lil Woody, has been snitching for at least 11 years. In this tape, you could tell he was real comfortable as he sat down for more than 3 hours and had a conversation with the police. As it turns out, Kenneth Copeland was the only one that couldn't keep it solid, as a lot of the other YSL members will either cop a plea deal or give up some valuable information. This can't be good for King Slime. Martinez Arnold, aka Lil Duke, he was another guy that ended up copping a plea because he ended up getting caught having conversations with Young Thug about certain situations that took place from jail. Those of us that have been in those situations know that that's a definite no-no. Young Thug's older brother, Funk, was another guy that took a plea deal. He also said that he wasn't worried about being labeled a rat because Young Thug is the one that told him to take the deal. Walter Murphy, aka DK, who is also known as being one of the co-founders, took a plea deal as well. YSL Tick, YSL Obama, and YSL Monktunk also took plea deals.
Number 7, defendant was told by another YSL associate that immediately after the murder of Donovan Thomas Jr., YSL associates met at the McDonald's on Cleveland Avenue in Atlanta, Georgia to discuss the murder.
Slime Life Shawty and Young Gunna also caught plea deals in this case, which I think that they were more publicly criticized because of the clout that they had. And in the song Take It to Trial, featuring Young Thug and Yak Gotti, Gunna could be seen in the video shaking his head no when Young Thug was saying take it to trial. As if it ever came down to it, he wasn't going to trial. And about a week or so ago, Gunna was even chased down and bombarded by fans that swore up and down he was a snitch. This can get very dangerous for a lot of people.
Oh, shit.
think that what we can learn from this episode of Slimed Out is this. Loyalty comes at a cost. When the chips are down, it doesn't matter what you did for a person, how much fame or money you gave them. No, they're not going to go do 10 or 15 years for you. It don't matter. They stand on the streets with their kids, with their wives, and with their family. That's just a given. Another thing, watch who you allow in your circle. Rocco came out with a song that was featuring Future years ago, and the theme of the song was keep them squares out of your circle. For one, a big circle always is going to have more snitches in it. Why? Because for one, loose lips sink ships. For two, everybody's not going to be solid. As a matter of fact, the greater majority is not going to be solid. Benjamin Franklin once said, the only way that two people can keep a secret is if one of them is dead. And those are facts right there. You can't tell nothing to your girlfriend, your mama, nobody. Especially when it's something that can cause you to do anywhere from 10 to 100 years. It just is what it is. People say that they street, but when it come down to it, motherfuckers gonna put that shit right in their pocket. And that's what it is. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. And try not to get slimed out. It's your boy SN.